Hey, Jay.
Hey.
Why are we in this dungeon right now? Where are we?
Well, this is my new workshop. We're here working on a couple things. We're doing a giveaway for Christmas. We wanted to kind of tie it in. Typically, we don't have as big of a storyline this year, but two of the big items that we're thinking people are going to be really interested in are our classic adventure party. The two most popular versions of that were the Thief and the Wizard. So I wanted to do something that kind of tied in with that. For the Thief, you know, rogue, assassin, that sort of thing, kind of naturally go with the dagger. So I got a couple knife blanks. This is what the blank looks like to start off. This is Damascus steel. I glued a handle on the other one, so this guy's ready to come out. He's been sitting overnight. This is ebony, and I'm going to carve this into a regular knife handle. Once the handle is a little closer to done, I am actually going to hollow out the wood where it's hollowed out in the metal. And what I want to do is I want to inset that with like a semi-precious stone. I went with garnet. These are raw garnet chunks. If you hold it up to the light, you get some pretty good red in there. I'm going to create like a composite gemstone, so it'll look like one solid gemstone, and I plan on filling this so you'll have a nice big hunk of garnet in the pommel of the knife. So we're gonna work on that tonight, and then the next session we're gonna work on the wand. The wand I plan on doing the handle probably out of ebony. The main body of the wand I'm gonna use figured maple, and I've got some pretty cool ideas, I think, assuming they work out well, and I'm gonna use amethyst crystals to tie that in as opposed to using purple heart. So yeah, it's kind of our starting point here.
All right, let's get it.
All right. Alright, so we've got more of the rough shape done. The silhouette of it is pretty close to where I want it to be. I've bored through the wood to expose the area where I'm going to put the crushed garnet. Then I marked out, I used a silver paint marker. These lines I'm actually going to create ripples. So I'm going to carve out the wood in between here. That's going to give a good grip on the handle. Alright, yeah. This is honestly the first time I've really attempted to do this style. These are all smaller, rough chunks of garnet. I essentially want to be able to create the appearance that this is one solid chunk of garnet that's going to be in here. I'm just creating a large enough core so that I can glue it in place and then put in some more around it and then build up from there. I want to cram that nice and full. I want there not to be much in the way of air pockets. So at this point, I'm gonna do one of the most time-consuming and least exciting parts, and that's gonna start to hand sand. One of the most repetitive and tedious aspects of sanding. You start off with a low grit sandpaper to get rid of most of the like tool marks and everything else and get your shape where you want it. That's probably your longest step, but even after, like, I want to sand this with just this grit for at least an hour, probably hour and a half, and then I've got to go back through it at, so I'm using 100, I'll come back through with 150, maybe 180, 220, and then probably finish it off with some 400. So for the wand, made the handle out of ebony. This is obviously still very rough stage. This is all figured maple. Instead of purple heart, I wanted to work with some amethyst crystals. So how I'm going to assemble this before I start carving, pre-bored a bunch of holes in these pieces, 1/4 inch holes, and I've got a 1/4 inch oak dowel. Butt joints are not particularly strong on their own. They'd be more likely to pop off and snap after a little bit. So putting the dowels in and then gluing them together is going to give it a lot more structural integrity. These two ones here are obviously bigger than a 1/4 inch, and the reason why I cored these guys out is because I want to put crystals down into them. And I'm gonna glue those into place. When these two pieces are glued together like that, I'm going to carve through some of the figured maple and reveal the crystal underneath it, kind of like a spiral twisting pattern. And then on the end, I want to take this big amethyst crystal and inset that in there, and then carve the wood around so it looks like it's holding it. So first step is going to be setting everything into place and starting to glue that up. I'm gonna go ahead and flood the bottom of this. Now, I'm gonna put some more CA in there to seal that. Alright, so that is the rough glue up. Now we have a rough dowel.
All right, they're done, Jay?
They're finally done.
Let's check them out.
So we got the wand, the wizard's wand here, ebony, figured maple, amethyst crystal at the tip and at the core of these guys here. See if we can get a little bit of light going through those.
Oh wow, that pops a lot.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with how this came out. It's got a pretty nice aged patina on it. That was one of the things when I do like fantasy weapons like this, I want it to look like it's been around for a little bit. I don't want it like dinged up and battle scarred exactly, but I want it to look like it's a little bit on the ancient side. It just feels a little more immersive for like the whole fantasy aspect of it. So this is the dagger that I did for the thief slash rogue. This is Morgabon ebony, steel pins, Damascus steel on the blade. I believe this is called like a raindrop pattern. I inset it with a rough hewn garnet. Overall, I was pretty happy with how it came out. It sits real nice in the hand, and this is just a fun blade design. Not particularly good for carving, but for a rogue or an assassin, pretty ideal.